DNA is activated by the music of the spheres. DNA is activated through these spheres, which are actually music. They spin in a harmonic resonance, which makes them have a tone of music, and each sphere spins faster and faster, which makes a higher spin rate, a higher tone, a higher frequency. Many people believe that music has much to do with healing. That is very true, but the music that actually heals is the music of the spheres, not the traditional audible music. It is the actual activity of connecting consciousness to the harmonic spheres within spheres of all dimensions that completely activates DNA. If we think in terms of dimensions and raising frequencies into the consciousness of each dimension, we are actually talking about spheres within spheres within spheres. Each harmonic universe has an octave between it. However, that octave is not what is defined in the music class. That octave is a resonance field of translation into a new set of realities. It is an actual shifting out of one harmonic universe of realities into a new harmonic universe of realities. We have just shifted from harmonic universe 1 into harmonic universe 2. After 2012, this has been going on, and the first activation was in 2013. The first year of being in harmonic universe 2 was 2014. However, most people are still playing their old tunes, their old realities, their old movies from the old harmonic universe 1 Earth reality. They're playing those tunes into their reality. We must make the choice to shift our frequencies up into harmonic universe 2 in order to achieve this multidimensional reality that is being offered to us. The spheres within spheres spin together to lift us higher and higher in consciousness. When we use the spheres to lift us, we feel disconnected from the old reality, and we feel shifted into the new reality. This is what the music created at Crystal Magic Orchestra does. You can go to the website at URL http crystalmagicorchestra.com. This music is created through the music of the spheres that folds one harmonic universe into another. The enfoldment continues until all of the spheres of the music of the spheres are folded back into at one-ment with the mind of God, which is the outer sphere, spinning at 10,000 times the speed of light and holding us together as one template of cosmic music. Yes, we are the music. We have been living in the lowest music of the system. The music that we have created in this sphere of reality needs to tune into the etheric realms of music. These spheres can be translated into sound waves. The Hertzian sound is the audible sound that is heard on Earth. Tuning our ears into the second harmonic universe requires moving beyond the audible Hertzian into the pre-light and pre-sound. We must move our ears into a realm that is not heard as much as felt and known. We can tune up our ears to be able to actually hear these sound waves that are plasma and pre-plasma frequencies. When the spheres spins the light waves into the sound waves to create the cosmic soup of an infinite liquid light ocean of consciousness. This cosmic light ocean is the most glorious sound that can be created, a sound beyond the imagination of most. When we die, we move through a veil into a kingdom that is made of symphonies of light and sound. Everything is a musical event in the kingdom of heaven. This is a kingdom that we are now bringing to earth. It is a kingdom where everything is done through dance and joy and musical resonances. The music of the spheres is created by light and sound. It is the light in different levels, including Hertzian, infrared, visible, invisible, gamma, X-ray, violet light, and clear up to the pink-white light, spinning together with the sound waves of those same wavelengths or lower wavelengths in order to create a higher reality field in the DNA. The DNA is the sound wave factor of the equation. The light of the universe spins into the DNA of the body. However, the body that we think is our body is only a piece of the body that is actually cosmic. When we move into quantum realities of the things that we cannot yet see, there are multiple Merkaba fields spinning around our body and holding us within the music of the mind of God. Our DNA within our body is supposed to be singing in harmony with the DNA in our galactic, universal, and cosmic body, because all of those bodies are one in the same. The music of the spheres expands our consciousness beyond the confines of a physical structure out into a universal light structure and a plasma ball of light. What we look like to entities in higher dimensions is a ball of magnificent hues in a plasma ball. Our race line looks like a mandala made up of billions of these plasma balls structured together into a wonderful cosmic painting of pre-light and sound. The ultimate healing activation training was designed to help you bring your body and your consciousness flow into this new field of reality that appears and expands into your new consciousness. In this activation, your body is being held within the light fields of all of the Merkabas that contain the light and sound of all 5 harmonic universes spinning around the body in order to activate the DNA beyond the physical into the cosmic and universal, as well as all multidimensional fields of consciousness. The music of the spheres is the electromagnetic particle spin created through light and sound. When the light, called photon energy, and the sound, called phonon energy, comes together into the DNA, this is what activates DNA. The 8th dimensional plasma activates the 5th dimensional DNA to begin growing and expanding the double helix beyond the body out into the quantum fields of the universe. The universal Merkaba brings the 12th dimensional frequencies of the stars, pre-plasma stardust, into the DNA to extend the double helix out into the universal realms, into infinite DNA strands, into the mind of God, into the 15th dimensional strands of this cosmea, and into the infinite of number of entities connected with that DNA and each dimensional reality. So there are infinite numbers of these strands connecting to consciousness, just like telephone lines connecting out to all of your friends in the United States or the continents or the entire world, and then on out from the world into the galaxy, and from the galaxy to the universe, and the universe to the cosmos. So the DNA are connected, are part of our neuronet system, and it is the neuronet system that connects us out to infinite realities of the multidimensional realities, far beyond this one-dimensional perception of reality. We must stop thinking of DNA as a double helix strand that appears extremely limited, according to science, into the real DNA that is entirely invisible because it is quantum. DNA is spiritual. It is the spiritual neurotransmitter of consciousness into the multidimensional realm of all beings in the galaxy and the universe. Each chord, scale, and sound is activated through the music of the spheres and connects the spiritual side of the veil into at one-ment with the physical side of the veil. It connects the spiritual and physical into oneness to create a complete transmutation of the physical body into a new, less dense version of the body that aligns as much with the invisible spiritual realm of infinite, eternal possibilities as it does with the tangible, physical reality of limited possibilities. The physical domain remains. However, the structure of the physical domain changes completely. It changes in elemental form. That means the entire elemental chart of our structure changes. When the light photons of the eighth dimension come into the fifth dimensional, fourth, fifth, and sixth chakras, the dimensional DNA sound, phonons, experience an activation which dissolves the old emotional records and allows light to shine into the DNA. This begins the initial activation of the DNA. All DNA are activated in the same way. The process of the photons of the light connecting with the sound waves, phonons of the DNA, creates the neutron body. The neutron body is less dense and exists in a standing wave pattern that is much more removed from gravity. The transmutation of all of the emotional memory records of the soul containing the multidimensional selves turns on the light connection into the multidimensional consciousness of each person on earth. Where is the fifth dimension? It is your soul. Your soul has descended from all dimensional levels, including cosmic, universal, galactic, solar, and planetary. All of those dimensional realities are already programmed into the soul. Now is the time that we are transmuting all of the emotional records that the soul has accumulated into all dimensions and turning them up into the light. The grids of the earth contain all of the Akashic emotions of everyone on the planet and all of their souls from the past 5.5 million years. All of those emotions are now being turned into light. However, it is the individual who must turn their own emotions into light by transmuting them into the plasma energy of the sun. The activations that take place through the music of the spheres connect each chakra within the body to the etheric chakras outside of the body. The DNA works in the same manner. The 7 chakras in the body connect into the frequencies of the 8 chakras outside of the body to create 15 chakras, which correspond with the 15 spheres of the music of the spheres. The old meanings of chakras, DNA, cells, and neuronets must all be altered in order to understand the true function of our body as the template of the living God. Our DNA is our connection to eternal life, to the all-knowing genius, to the unstoppable energy, to the instantly manifested realities of a new kingdom on earth that becomes visible to those who transmute the old DNA through the light and sound process to allow it to grow into the flower that it dreams to be. Most of the activation of the DNA take place outside of the body, at the spiritual antiparticle level. This activates the 12 subharmonics within each chakra as it is attuned through the crystalline grids of the earth's crust and the crystic field of consciousness that lays across the clouds in the sky. So think of your body as having its neuronets that look like tiny antennas connect from your body clear into the grids of the earth and out into the cloud cities. From that point, the neuronets also connect clear out into the universe and connect to each star just like a telephone would connect to an outside line in another country. The telephone lines are not made for chatting, however. The etheric frequency lines connect all consciousness through a knowing. We no longer need to think about anything because we will already know what to do. The fact is The DNA was separated through the separation of the spiritual parallel reality and the physical reality. This is supposed to be one reality. What we don't see is just as real as what we see, and soon we will learn to see it all. Ascending as a galaxy is not possible. It is a lie. When we ascend as a cosmos, the only way to ascend is an entire cosmos. The Earth's matrix is within the cosmic matrix. The Earth's matrix is a cosmic matrix. So when the Earth ascended, the entire cosmos ascended. There's an entire cosmea that holds all of the cosmoses together. And our cosmos actually ascended into a new cosmos. So the entire structure of our idea, our reality, was not just changed from at the Earth or the galaxy or the universe, it was changed at the cosmic level. And this cosmic transition is required. The cosmos must change the music of the spheres, the breath of the source. Source's breath is an idea, so the idea of the cosmos had to be changed completely from outside of the cosmos, from the breath of source, when source breathed a new idea, transforming the entire cosmos into an entire new idea. So we ascend through the entire full spectrum of light and sound, clear up through the outer band of the cosmos where the breath of source connects to the cosmos and breathes a new hue of reality, sparking a new flame, a new idea that transmutes this breath, which is a song singing through the music of the spheres from the highest bands, the outer bands where the breath of source first breathes into the bands, within the bands, within the bands, and it makes these bands spin together at a higher and higher frequency, filling them with new ideas. And you see these spinning light spectrums all through the universe, spinning into new galaxies and spinning into stars being ignited and blooming into new universes and new ideas blooming all over the place. If we do not connect our consciousness through the entire spectrum of sound, through the frequencies of the cosmos, and the full spectrum of light of all of the light fields in the pyramid diagram, we would just be continuing in mortality. What is mortality? That is when your body gets really tired and old and sick and says, I really don't want to be here anymore. And then the soul looks at the body and decides that there is no new experience to be had in this body. So the soul leaves and the body stays in the illusion of the third dimension and in the illusion of death. Immortality is when the body tells the soul, I'm ready for a new adventure. I'm ready for a multidimensional adventure where I can turn my body into light and travel all over the universe to meet all of the other stars in the sky. Then the soul says, oh, this is exciting. I will show you how. The flower of life system was created by an Anunnaki pharaohs and kings to suck the selesma out of the fifth dimensional beings on earth so that they could give their soul another, could not give their soul another, they could give the souls of the pharaohs another experience. Their soul is not connected to source because their soul was being borrowed from others so that they could have this selesma, this light activation source to feed to their souls, because their souls did not have the 12th dimensional stargate capacity that the souls of the human angelic race line had. So their soul is not connected to source. Their soul is a demonic structure that feeds off of others. Not all Anunnaki are fallen angelics. There are angelic Anunnaki whom we will meet one day in the future, about 2044. The Anunnaki who caused the problem were called Anunnaki resistance. They were actually resisting the original plan of the Anunnaki who were helping to create a better race line on Earth. So there were two different plots going in this system, and so it was very easy for these pharaohs and kings to fool people to line up to give them their life source energy. So first we're going to meet our own soul families, who are the Syrian Yani, the Yani Lemurians, the Azurites, and later the Essasanis, who were created from the angelic human seed and the Zetas. Most race lines in our universe are hybrid races, because the original race line of the Oriphims were almost completely destroyed. The Syrian B consciousness was used to create a hybrid form of the original Orifim race line that we came from. I am related to the Syrians, as most of us are. I am also related to the Oriphims, as most of us are. I remember life at a much more distant time than most others do. I remember living in the same place with the Orifim Brahma citation race line from the son of Ha, and the Orifim humanoids from son La. The reason that I remember the son of Ha and La as one son, and the son of Ka and Ha as the original son, that is now called Ka, is because I was related and created from the in-between band of light. That would be the connection of the 2 from the 1, 2, 3, and the 5 from the 4, 5, 6, and the 8 from the 7, 8, 9, and the 12 from the 10, 11, 12, and the 14th from the 13th, 14th, and 15th. There is this inner band of light and sound that resonates within me. It is this in-between band of light and sound where all of the symphonies are made in the music of the spheres. I am from the Breno race line in the 14th dimension. That is the angle of reality that I see all reality from. It is the in-between heliotalic frequency that blends with the sun's plasma to create the neutron body of the eternal life. It is the crystal particle that is within our most inner crystal heart that connects with the 14.5 of the brand new creation. This time, our new reality is being created at the cosmic level. This is the place where there is not one tiny particle of light and sound that is not eternal. It is the consciousness of eternal light being breathed into this matrix through sound every nanosecond. This is where I live now. Anyone can join me by listening to my music. All of the music that is created by Crystal Magic Orchestra is to help the listener move into the version of his or her reality that will give them the desired manifestation of their new reality. The individual must tune their consciousness in to the music and then realize what the music is tuning them into. They are being tuned in to the version of themselves that is the man made in the image and likeness of God, the eternal man. Now there is something a little different from that old Bible story. We have always believed that there was a spiritual perfect man called Jesus Christ, and that he was the only one who could be perfect. The only reason that he was the only perfect one on earth at that time was because the version of the original man had been distorted by the distortions placed in his template. Now we are having those distortions removed from our divine template. Now our race line is being reborn with this divine imprint that Jesus Christ was born with. Now we can tune into that version of who our race line always was in this spiritual universe that did not contain any of the errors that were placed in the physical universe. The physical and spiritual can become one. The rule is the higher frequency still always transmutes the lower frequency. So now we know that the spiritual frequency is the higher frequency that can transmute all of that is in the physical version of the individual. What do I need to do? Everybody needs to listen to the music in the order of the Ascension Kit, which contains the Ascension Vortal, the Ascension Vortex, the Ascension Portal, the Magic Vortal. We need to listen to these breaths of angels where we collected to activate the 12 DNA, the 24 DNA, the 36 DNA, and the 48 DNA in these albums. Actually, there are 12 DNA on each DNA strand that is visible to scientists. The scientists only see a double helix, but within each of the chakra areas or original DNA template, each DNA is, or each chakra level, each level of man has 12 DNA. So there's 12 DNA in the first DNA, 12 DNA in the second DNA, 12 DNA in the third DNA, 12 DNA in the fourth DNA. So when we say 48 DNA, we're actually resonating with the fourth DNA strand. If we resonate 60 DNA, we're resonating with the fifth DNA strand. And for the seventh DNA would be 84 DNA strands. And the reason that there are these 12 on each dimensional line of the DNA means that DNA is actually plugged in to all 12 stargates. So each one of our physical DNA is plugged into all 12 of the stargates. So 12 stargates into 12 different harmonic universes, or 12 different parallel universes of universal realities, entire structures of consciousness, all 12 of them, because our race line came from this original 12, 12 stargates, 12 sets of consciousness that were broken apart and now putting back together. So when all 12 of these star systems consciousness come back together in each one of our DNA strands, it activates 12 DNA within each one. And what we are reaching for is called 5 DNA, but 5 DNA actually means that we have 60 DNA neural nets connecting to 60 etheric light strands through our neural net system, all through our universe. And the 5 DNA means multidimensional reality. It allows us to connect from this 5 DNA out into the entire universe, because the universe is our consciousness.